maybe I'd stop being a lion.
Wait. Wait. Yeah. All right. All right. It's warm. All right. Leave it. July 9th, 4 o'clock PM. Obviously. I'm processing. Feel a bit of anxiety. My internal someone's just about to walk past me. All right, come on. Good boy, good boy. Come on, this way. Come on, leave it. Good boy. Right. I've had my, well, I say my, yeah, all right. I've been waiting to hear back from the people, well, I mean, NHS, isn't it? I went for my mental health assessment and I've been waiting to hear something back. Today is 58 days that I've been waiting with no word. Yesterday afternoon, 5 PM, I get a text from them saying this is a reminder of your appointment tomorrow at 2 PM. I'm like, what? Oh my God. Going to Claire's in the living room. I was in the kitchen. Going to Claire. Claire, I've had this text about, I've got a thing tomorrow, today. Right? I've got a thing, I've got a call. It's a phone call tomorrow. This is it. And she goes, right, okay. I phoned them yesterday. So Claire phoned them, I guess, to find out what's going on, what the wait is. She didn't tell me. Now, she had previously, some time ago, asked me, do you want me to call them? And I said, no, I don't want you to call them. I don't want any, don't want you to have to do that. But I think in that interaction, I think I said, if that's something you want to do, you can, but don't tell me about it. So she did that. She's made contact and G'd them along, and the very next day they have given me a phone appointment. So she told me that yesterday when I told her, when this text comes through, are you going to go? So I'm learning of that as she's telling me. Okay. Which is, I'm not, that's what I told her, that do that. If you're going to do it, don't tell me, because I think I'd get stressed about that. So I think it was right to not tell me, and that's what I asked for. So Claire hasn't done anything wrong or anything. All good. And it worked, it got them to pull their finger out. However, so at 5, I'm learning I've got this appointment tomorrow, 2 o'clock, phone call. And I feel straight away, that's like, I'm under pressure now. Oh my God, no, it's just been sprung on me. Oh my God, it's tomorrow. I've got this thing tomorrow. that I've got to be ready for, mentally. And so I'm doing the pre-stress is working its way up, and and that generates until I have it. So manage that, just distracting myself basically any way I can. Things are working less. It's not as easy, or they don't last as long, the distractions, before I start thinking about stuff again. And I knew that when I go to bed, I'll just stay in bed and sleep as long as possible, as long as I can. Get me as close to 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock today, right? Because when I get up, the in-between time that I'm awake up until the thing and it's over, that will be generating stress, the pre-stress stress. So I try and, so I think, right, if it's at 2, what do I need to do before to be ready for it? What do I actually need to do? Now, these are just things that I want to have lined up, like how I want to have some questions written down so I can ask. I want to have, so in my office, I've not been in there, and I've been in there to open the door and chuck stuff in there. I haven't been in there to use it as a room, and that's like my sort of little comfort zone, shall we say, safe space within our house. And it was all, I needed to dust and clean and tidy some stuff up to make it back to its comfort, so I needed to do that before this call, because that's where I was going to have this call. So I like work backwards from the appointment time at 2 o'clock. I think, right, okay, well, I don't want to get up and have too much time where I'm able to stress about it. Go on. We're not. We'll just keep going, shall we? Good boy. But also give me enough time to do what I need before. So I set my alarm for midday. I thought, right, I'm just going to sleep as long as I can, because that I'm not having stress at that point if I'm asleep. And which that worked, but I woke up before, way before the alarm. I'm starting to ruminate and think about things. So I got up about 11:30. Went and had some breakfast. I had me methylene blue again. Oh, that was weird. Yesterday, I think it was psychosomatic. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. Where, it's happening because I'm thinking about it, and maybe I don't know if that's a good description or definition. Like when I took it yesterday, those 5 drops, and it says no metals, metal free, and I've had it, and then I guess I'm stressed about, a little bit sort of anxious about it. Is this going to be some dodgy shit from China that's I'm putting in my body? So a bit, apprehensive, but I did it. And like for the whole rest of the day yesterday, I just felt like I could taste metal. I mean, I don't know what that means. I don't know what metal is supposed to taste like, but I just felt like my mouth has this metalness taste to it. But I haven't today. I had it when I got up. Just did the 5 drops again in the same juice. Just downed it. I haven't had it. I haven't got that metalness today. Now, maybe my head's somewhere else and I'm just not thinking about that. And yesterday I was really thinking about that. I don't know. Fuck knows. Good boy. Had a couple of not like real bad stress poos, but a little bit. And I think it was just stress. I'm just stressing, so it's doing that for me. Oh, yeah, he's going. We're way past it. Right. Okay. All right. Yes. So. Got no weird taste today. I had exactly what I had yesterday. A couple of loose-ish. No, not on the car. Loose-ish stools, which I think is just stress. The last few days I've been texting my mum and my sister. We've been having text back and forths, which is stressful. Me trying to explain me and myself, and sticking to my guns about my mum in particular, but both of them, I guess. I mean, all of us, really. My mum is still not like, she's just like, oh, I can't remember what I've said to you. This way, here, there we go. My mum is just of the mindset that I am being horrible to her, saying horrible things. And how much that hurts her. I don't dispute that it's hurtful. It was hurtful I was hurt by these things when I was considering them for myself. I've acclimatized to it, and I feel like I can accept the likely reasoning behind it. But my mum is not anywhere near that. She just thinks I'm attacking her. So that's stressful. And my sister's stressed because I'm, for the same thing. She thinks I'm being unfair, and that what I say about how I feel and what is happening for me, my experience, my reality, is not what it is for them. And so there is a like a large disconnect there between us about that. So that's stressful, ongoing. Still don't know what to do about that, how to manage that. So yeah, get up today. Eventually get up, go downstairs, have breakfast, have me blue stuff. Write my questions. Tidy my room, ready for it. Have a shower, hoovered, I had to do some doing stuff to well, I mean, there's a number of reasons, but I've done some things. Tidied the kitchen. That's what I do. It's like tidying up is my thing that I do when I haven't done anything and I feel of no value and worthless and like I'm a waste of space. I'll do some cleaning or something to be able to. I can't remember if I said this to you. Like, I feel like cleaning is. I was cleaning the shower, and I realised that I was using that to try and get some kind of self worse for myself. And I think that the reason I was doing that is because that's what my mum does and has done all her life. Cleaning. I think that's probably been put on her as when she was young, and she has been shown gratitude or reward and given self-esteem for doing it, and she now all her life does that to process her own internal stuff that she either does or does not understand properly, but also just to do things that she has learnt is right and good and rewarding for her. Dog. Let's leave it. Bye, bud. Leave it. Good boy. Right. Yeah, well, no. Duck. We're not actually going to follow him. So, I did some cleaning. Don't know whether it worked. I mean, I'm in my head, all in my head about this now, this meeting. Anxious. Phone call. So, go in my room, have the phone call. It's the same guy who I saw for the assessment, on the phone to him for 45 minutes. Obviously, I had some questions, and what he apologised for. He didn't mention Claire phoning up or anything. He just apologised for the how long it's taken. Going this way? Okay. And went into... Now, before this happened, before he went into it, I stopped him and said, can I record the call? Because I'm not going to retain... Even though I've got a pad and a pen to write things down, I'm still not going to retain certain bits. And I'm going to be asked, I'm going to be quizzed about it, what was said, what's happening. And it's easier for me if I can just go, here, there you go. Listen to that, that's the call, or read that, that's the transcript. That's a lot easier, that's a lot less cognitive work I have to do. And he was reluctant again. When I went for the meeting, when we were in the waiting room, and he came out to get me, and I said, somebody, I don't know if it was me or Claire, I said, shall I come in? I think she said, shall I come in? And I was thinking she was going to come in, I guess, at that stage. And he was like, well, we don't normally do that. And I picked him up on it straight away. You don't normally do that. Can we do that now? And we didn't. I went in with him, and then she came in later, right? And he said exactly the same thing today. And I said, do you mind if I record the call? And he said, well, I don't normally do that. And I said, well, that's what you said then, and it still happened the way that I needed it, and this is why I need it. It's the same thing. And it was 4 minutes. Wait, no, this way. 4 minutes of me trying to conversing with him about whether I could or couldn't record the call. He was very reluctant and hesitant, and I called him out. I called him out on it. I said, "Look, what is it? What is the hesitation?" And it's because he doesn't know where it's going to go, what's going to happen with it. I asked him if he's recorded it, and he said, for his side, he said, no, we don't do that. I don't do that, and fair enough. But this is something I feel like I need. And I sort of had to reassure him, look, I can only give you my word, but it's not going to go anywhere. Only to Claire. And then I'll delete it. I don't need it, right? Anyway, 4 minutes, and he was like, all right. And he agreed. So I recorded it. Which is good for me, because now I've just been able to give that to Claire. She can listen to that. And now she knows what I know about that call. And I don't have to get worked up again, because 45-minute call, it wasn't emotional, and I wasn't stressed like Yeah, it wasn't like, it's not like angst or panic or anything like that. It's just internal anxiety about having to have a conversation on the phone, being misunderstood, explaining, talking. It's just all, it becomes more and more unmanageable the longer it goes on, the longer I'm doing it. Any phone call, not just this, but I mean, this is more stressful because it's about me talking about me being vulnerable and stuff, right? Anyway, so he has proposed some sessions. He said, again, normally they do 8 weeks of sessions. He said he wants to do this thing called formulation, which I've never I didn't know what he meant when he said it. He explained it to me. I still didn't get it. We went back to it afterwards and then I got it. Which is basically build me and him face to face, talking about me and building a bigger picture of my life and the things in my life that are, leave it, my challenges, so that I can, he said, the primary focus for it would be so that I could learn skills to better manage my emotions when I'm having really when I can't, which is good. That's what I need, but he's like, is that okay? Do you think that's something you would like? And I'm like, what the fuck do I know? I don't know. That's why you're here. It's to tell me what I need. I'm not just gonna, I'm like, I don't know, do I? I'm here and I'm willing to do whatever it is you're suggesting and at least try something. That's better than nothing, right? So yeah, let's do that, whatever that is. And so he's gonna check his diary and get back to me to book a date for us to start this formulation. So I've since 4 o'clock, so it was 2 hours ago, right? And I've since had a little look online, what is formulation, and explain it. And it's just building a history, and it's like an in-depth look, getting more detail of everything, more than they have already, so that they can, work out a treatment plan or ways, coping skills and things like that, which is all what I need. I had my questions, so I asked some specific questions. I asked him about the video, the Back to the Future video, the one that I showed the doctor, my mum, Claire, which kind of, is the thing that, it's not the thing, but it was on the day that she said, I'm going to refer you for an assessment. They wanted to, they were all worried that I was in psychosis. It was manic or whatever. And I was still like, no, I don't think it is, and I still haven't had an answer for that. It's been 58 days and he's only calling me up today, so we're going to have these chats or whatever. So I said, look, have you seen that video? Because the doctor referenced the video in the referral. I said, have you seen that video? He's like, no. So I think, don't you need to see that? Don't you want to see that? And he's like, well, what is it? So he doesn't know. So I had to explain to him what that was. Like, it was me having sort of an intense emotional response to something, stimulus of some kind. And me talking, it's just me talking, but explaining how I feel and what's going on. It's an emotional thing in my body and it's like an activity thing in my brain. And he was quizzing me on it like, have you had that anymore? And I said, well, I've had it twice. I had it the first time I found out I was autistic, or I realised I was autistic, which is before I found out I was autistic. And then this second time. It hasn't happened since. He was trying to establish whether I am routinely in these high, intense, this thing is happening. And it hasn't happened again since. I've been stressed and had emotions, and I try to convey that I have big emotions. And this is what he says we will be discussing and talking about, and trying to establish what and why, for how long, what the causes are, the source points, and what I can do. He also, right towards the end, wanted to assess whether my what's the word? Whether I was in crisis. That's not what he said, but where. I think that was prompted by. I mean, I don't know what Claire said, but she knows me, and she lives with me and can see me, and she knows what I've been like recently in terms of my mental health. And and she knows. She knows I've self-harmed recently, and I'm talking about. It's difficult. Talking about suicide doesn't mean I'm going to go and commit suicide. But I think talking about it, I mean, this is what I'm learning. This is how I understand it. Talking about it is necessary to make it for awareness and to get better understanding for everybody. So when I'm talking about it, I feel like I'm disconnected from it. It doesn't have a. Good boy. I don't think it has the same weight for me that it does for everybody else, because everybody else is like, oh my God, what the fuck? Is he all right? Or what's going to happen? I was talking about it because it's a very real thing, right? Especially for late diagnosed autistic people. And I was texting my sister, and I'd mentioned it. Her and my mum both said to me in text, basically, I'm paraphrasing, buck your ideas up, because your family's not going to be around forever. And I said to them both, I'm suicidal, right? You're both presuming that I'm not going to die first, and that is short-sighted and remiss, I think. It's a very real thing that happens with people like us, especially when they're not getting support, or they feel like they're not getting support, and they don't know what to do, and they want everything to stop. So she said to me, my sister, when you mention that, suicide, she doesn't know what to do with it, and that made me think, that's what's made me think, like, oh fuck, because I didn't think about how it's received until that point. To me, it doesn't. I've lived with it forever, so it's not new. It's not unusual. It doesn't hurt me to. I can be honest and open about it, if I can do that, without it. I mean, it's difficult to say the words out loud to somebody, but it's difficult because of how vulnerable I feel doing it. And also now I worry about how it's received by people, and whether the impact of it, or how my thinking about that, let's go this way, good boy, may not necessarily mean the same thing as somebody else saying he's thinking about that. It doesn't mean I'm going to go and do it. It also doesn't mean that I'm not. I mean, I don't know, do I? That's what the whole... Where the fuck are we now? Oh, yeah. That's, you know, that's why it's important. So he was trying to establish, like, I was all right. He asked me about the self-harm, and I said, yeah, I had to tell him. He asked what I did. I said, oh, yeah, this is it, isn't it? This is why we're here. I don't think he... No, well, this is... Maybe this... I mean, it's my own fault, maybe, this. Well, all of it, but... like, I've done 2 years' worth of learning about autism, neurodiversity, narcissism, emotional immaturity, and I'm jumbling it all around and trying to work stuff out, calculate, because I don't know and nobody's telling me, so that's all I can do. And I don't know. I feel like he's going to treat me a bit like I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. When, I mean, I know me. I've always known me, how I feel, or when I feel the way I feel. Now, I've never known exactly why or what that means, because I didn't know about my neurodiversity, but now I do. You know, now I've been learning about that. So I have way more understanding than I ever did. Whoa, what are you... Okay. What was it? I don't think it was anything. Didn't see anything. Anyway, so, waiting for a date now. Go on, in you go. In. I'm back. Hop still. Ready? 1 click. Wait, that's 1 click. 2 clicks. Good boy. He's gone. Right. See ya. If this fucks up, I will not be impressed.